what everybody's talking about? Well, we sure hope. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani with Jerry Usher and you. We say this every single time we do the show, and that's because we have new listeners joining the Take Two family. So we have to constantly remind all of us what this show is about. It's when we take a fresh look at ourselves and the world around us. With your participation, we learn something new. We walk away a little bit changed, a little bit closer to God. So when Jerry introduces the topic, please fill every phone line. We want to hear from you. We value your experience and your wisdom on the topics that we put forth. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Jerry, on Facebook and YouTube viewers, Jerry's got like a new camera. It's like a high definition, widescreen. That is amazing, Jerry. I don't know where you got it, but that is pretty cool. It looks like television quality.
Wow, thanks. Maybe we'll do some video stuff someday.
Okay.
Like
how about an after show?
Yeah. Well, these are the kinds of things that help us to feel fulfilled in life in terms of what God is calling us to do in ministry. And that's our topic today. Take Two family, take it away at 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Do you feel fulfilled in life? Do you feel that you've found your purpose? You're living in your purpose. You're doing what God created you to do. Or do you feel like, life has taken a little zig here, a zag there, a twist and a turn, and now you're kind of like, you know what? I just really don't feel that total fulfillment in life. That's what we're going to be talking about, and we invite you to join us again at 833-288-3986.
Okay, so is your life unfulfilling? Please start calling in now and share with us, and let's talk about it, because we would like for you to start right now. Remember, God is in the present. Start right now to change that and have a new outlook. Jerry always likes to say you got to reframe things of where you're at and take a fresh look, a fresh perspective on things, and a new direction, because there's no time like the present, and that's why we want to really race through this conversation and hope that we all get out there with a new feeling about life. So let's talk about it. Here's the number: 1-833-288-EWTN. Again, that's 833-288-3986. Jerry, you know that I'm going to put my life skills hat on when it comes to this topic. I put this on the show calendar because a lot of folks are just feeling blah. They just feel like life is just mundane. And it's interesting, Jerry, because if you look at the word mundane, it means monotonous and dull, but it also means very secular, very, very worldly. And it's very interesting, Jerry, and a lot of people will say that their life is mundane. Well, let's change that.
All right, 833-288-3986. What does fulfillment mean? Maybe we can talk about that. If you have a take on what it means to be fulfilled, because we're in this life, we have the aches and pains. What does that prayer of the Rosary say? Mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. So there are going to be disappointments. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be tragedies and tears shed and injuries and so forth. How can we overcome those things and still feel fulfilled in our purpose and our relationship with God and being contributors to the greater world around us? This is what we would like to talk about today. And as Debbie always says, we just want to come away a little bit better at the end of the program. And you are the ones who make that happen, quite frankly. Debbie and I toss a topic out there, and you, the Take Two family, always run with it every day. We've got a couple of people being screened right now, but still room for you right away if you call 833-288-3986.
Michael is answering phones today. So Michael McCall, he's wonderful to talk to. Please call in at 833-288-3986. I always love quotes from St. Teresa of Calcutta, Mother Teresa, Jerry. And the quote that is used very frequently is the one about doing small things with great love. But if you look at the entire quote, listen to this. It says, not all of us can do great things. See, you always miss parts of quotes. It's very interesting. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. God is love. He sees our hearts. And sometimes I think, would you agree with this, Jerry, that sometimes folks want to do something so grandiose, so magnificent and great in the eyes of the world. And when they feel like, they can't accomplish that, they kind of back away from everything and just say, well, I'm not meant to do that, so I can't do anything. But that's not what God is looking at. God is looking at our hearts. And when we do things with small things with great love, he sees that. And I think that takes on a whole new level. What do you think about that?
Well, I do too. I think we can sometimes feel defeated or beaten down if we do try to do something beautiful, something great for God. We should discern those things and see if it is what God is calling us to do. But I also believe, Debbie, this is an interesting thought that I had about this topic with technology today, and so many human advances in technology and so forth, and gadgets and all of this. Anybody can do, I think, bigger things than they could before. You can open up a cookie store online, or you can open up your own business. I've had this saying for a long time. It's like everybody's an entrepreneur now that the internet is running. And so maybe a lot of our listeners, or a few of them, have tried becoming fulfilled by doing what they see other people doing, and maybe it just didn't work out. So there are a lot of ways that we can peel back this onion and learn something today.
Absolutely. So we'd love to hear from you. The number to dial is 1-833-288-EWTN. Folks, it's very easy. You just call up, speak to Michael. He'll chat with you for a few minutes, put you on hold. You'll get to listen live. You'll jump right in and you'll share your experience, your wisdom, your take on this topic. And believe me, if the Holy Spirit is tugging at you saying, come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, it's you I want to call in. There's a reason. We believe that. Okay. 833-288-3986. Talking about feeling unfulfilled in this world.
Yeah, and here's one for you too. If you're a parent, kids want really, I think, Debbie, essentially nothing more than to have fulfillment in life. But they're often looking for that fulfillment, that validation, that identification, or their identity, if you will. They're looking for that often in a number of social media friends, or sometimes the friends they hang out with that disappoint them, or in their gadget. They're hoping to get enough text messages or likes or follows or something like that. So, parents, as you raise your kids, what are you trying to do for them, and how are you trying to lead them to those avenues that really are going to fulfill them deep down inside, not on the surface level, but deep down inside? Because, Debbie, that's where we find our ultimate fulfillment, our ultimate contentment, our ultimate peace, when we're at peace, doing what God wants us to do, and when we love ourselves, in a healthy way.
In a healthy way, absolutely. Yeah. So please, we want to hear from you. This is your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking about, is your life unfulfilling? Let's talk about it. Let's change it today, right now, at 833-288-3986. Call us. We'd love to hear your voice.
Third Millennium Media presents Debbie Georgianni.
The world tells us not to be merciful, and we as Catholic Christians are called to take a step back and look at it in a different way. We must practice mercy, especially if we want to receive mercy.
Debbie Georgianni, co-host of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, wants to visit your parish retreat or conference. Invite Debbie Georgianni today online at thirdmillenniummedia.com.
Bishop Robert Barron.
Tolkien has reached out to, Nordic culture and literature and Icelandic sagas and all sorts of things. He learned a lot about the good, the true, and the beautiful from his study of pre-Christian cultures. He used narrative forms that were accessible to the culture. He adapted that to evangelical purposes. So that shows you that flexibility. It shows you a certain creativity in the evangelical art. He did not proselytize. Rather, he very delicately and indirectly and cleverly evangelized through the imagination, so that someone taking in these great stories of Tolkien or his friend C.S. Lewis, they're going to say, oh yeah, I get that. I recognize that pattern. So that finally when they hear the gospel, they'll say, yeah, I understand that. I learned that from The Lord of the Rings. I learned that pattern from the Narnia stories. That was the genius of those fellas.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
This is your program, program. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I am Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgianni. Rich Jesse on the controls today. He is our producer. We got Michael McCall screening phone calls. Jeff Burson watching your social media comments. So if you're watching the video stream on YouTube or Facebook, you may post a comment or a take for this topic right there, and Jeff will make sure that we get those to us. We are going to go to your calls. I just wanted to mention a show that I still love very, very dearly because I was actually the original host of it. It's Catholic Answers Live. It has been going for over 21 years, and you hear it from 6 to 8 p.m. on most of these EWTN affiliates. Tonight, Tim Staples will be in hour number 1 with an open forum, so you can ask any question you want. And Jim Blackburn, same format in hour number 2. Catholic Answers Live, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on most of these EWTN affiliates.
Is life unfulfilling for you? That's the question we're asking today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. There are some open phone lines, believe it or not. That means that if you're feeling that prompting of the Spirit, please jump in. We need to hear from you. You have a lot to say, and we're here to listen and learn. 833-288-EWTN. Again, that's 1-833-288-3986. Well, we're so glad that Angela jumped in from Dallas, Texas, listening on Guadalupe Radio Network. She's first up on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Hi, Angela.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Doing just fine, yeah. How are you?
Not to cry here, but
okay.
I'm surviving, I guess. Generally okay, but my number one thing is I've had 9 kids. 2 of them passed away very young when they were babies. Now my youngest is 14, so I've got 3 teenagers and a 23-year-old and my oldest at home still. And I'm married. We've been married for many years. But my husband has been anti-Catholic most of our life, most of our time here. So I've always kind of hidden my faith. Not hidden. I mean, the kids know. We go to Mass. They've all been through their sacraments. And they know that the number one thing in life for me is their faith, which every last one of them but one is left. And they look at me as, oh, don't worry, poor Mom. I know she's well-meaning, but she's superstitious and all that. And they pity me, literally. And it's like my job in life is to help them to get to heaven. And they look down on me because of it, because their father did. Now, he actually came back like maybe 6 months ago, but he doesn't get it. He still sees it as a social event. And is getting angry with them if they don't dress right, because I'm taken. They still go, but
Right.
I've got a bad example as a husband. And
yeah. Angela, there are remedies for all of these things, and Debbie's going to share some thoughts, and I will first here just for a moment. First of all, bless your beautiful heart. To hear this emotion shows how deeply, deeply, deeply you care about your family. Debbie, in a minute, we'll get the names of the children that you lost. Sadly, we're very, very sorry to hear that. You mentioned your husband, maybe not the best role model that there is in the world. Okay, just kind of pray for him. Don't expect that from him right now. Expect that from Jesus, okay? Make Jesus sort of your spiritual spouse, because we're all to be espoused to Jesus. We're members of the body of Christ. And I know you're probably already doing that. But you know what? Also with the kids who have left the church, they may have left the faith or left the church for right now. But remember, God never leaves them. God never leaves us. He is always, always in pursuit of us. And people do come back, Angela. Debbie, you can speak to this clearly. The runaway number one prayer intention that we hear as we do this show and travel around the country is kids or grandkids who are away from the faith. And Debbie, there are beautiful stories of triumph and return and success and all of that. Sometimes it takes a little while, but Angela's doing the right thing. She's got the right tools. She's living a sacramental life herself, and God is going to look at that, and God is going to honor that. I really believe. Debbie, go. What do you think?
I can't add much to that, Angela, but I do want to, if you feel comfortable, I would love to add your 2 precious children that passed away. Are you feel comfortable giving us their first names so we can put them in the book?
I can give you the one name altogether.
Okay.
All 9 of them, or just the 2?
Oh, you could give us all 9, but you said you had 2 that passed away. We wanted to make sure I put away. Yeah, go ahead.
The 2 that passed away were Bart and Anna Marie.
Oh, beautiful. And I just put your whole family in the book, so you don't have to give us everybody's name for that. Okay. But Angela, a couple things. If I may say this, everything that Jerry said, please, let that, take that into your heart and really think about that and pray about that. But, Angela, one thing I just wanted to say, it sounds like you feel alone in this journey. And that bothers me because, first of all, you're named Angela, so you're named after the angels. So you're not alone. You have your guardian angel right with you, journeying with you, so you're never alone. You've done such great work as the matriarch of this beautiful, big family, and you planted those seeds, and you really deserve to rest in that and to not worry about the outcome. Let God take care of that. What I would love to see for you is for you to feel like that everything was worth it. And I think you're, if I may say this, you're waiting for the responses from your family members to validate that. You don't need that. You don't need that. God is much bigger than that. You do what you believe was right for your family, which you did, and then just continue on your journey and living the faith, and let God work everything out with all the family members, because what you did was the right thing for the right reasons. And I just want you to feel validated in that. I mean, am I right on that you're sensing you're like kind of alone in this family?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. We're out here kind of by ourselves. We had a good supportive family, but they're all in like California or Georgia, or,
right.
other states. So it's kind of hard.
Right.
I've got nobody close by here.
Right. But you're not alone. You're not alone. And, I'll tell you what, I'm speaking on angels at the end of June in Houston at the Fullness of Truth conference and Guardian Angels. And I can tell you that so many folks, in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, they've never really cultivated their relationship with their guardian angel. When you do, you never feel alone. As a matter of fact, you kind of feel crowded. It's interesting how you feel. And I just want that for you, because you're such a beautiful soul, a loving mom, an incredible wife and mother, and you know what, your family, you're planting the seeds for all of eternity. Take comfort in that, Angela. Always remember the bigger picture, okay? Because sometimes I think we get stuck in this world. We're always thinking about what's happening today, tomorrow, the next day, 10 years from now. Think the bigger eternal picture. We don't. I just heard Carlo Broussard say this on Catholic Answers last week. We don't meditate enough on heaven. That is so true. We don't meditate enough on eternity. So that's my hope and prayer for you, Angela. I hope that's okay. And we put your whole entire family in our book, and you're part of the Take Two family. So at any time, email us and let us know. We're here for you. We're family members at take2@EWTN.com. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Angela, before you go, this is one of the beauties that Debbie and I love, and our show team, we love about the Take Two family. One of our listeners, Jane, just called in. She says, this is for caller Angela. She is offering prayer and fasting for you and your children and your husband. And she included a quote from last Sunday's Mass reading in her email, Acts 14, starting at verse 21. When they had preached the gospel to that city and had made many disciples, they returned to Lystra and Iconium and to Antioch, strengthening the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and saying that through many tribulations we must enter the kingdom of God. And when they had appointed elders for them in every church, with prayer and fasting, they committed them to the Lord in whom they believe. So, Angela, you've got at least one member of the Take Two family praying and fasting for you. And Debbie, I can guarantee there are a lot more doing that already. Oh, absolutely, Angela. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or share? Because we're here for you. We don't want to let you go until there's this big smile on your face.
That was my biggest thing. That's the only thing there is to me. So. Right. That's
you mean your
family.
Right. You mean your family is the only thing for you? Is that what you're saying?
My most important thing is helping them get to heaven. That's my job. So that's the biggest thing in my life.
Okay.
But mental health is playing a big part of it too. So.
Okay, but remember this though, Angela. Your vocation, you're committed to your family and helping them get to heaven. Okay, you're not going to be holding their hand when they exit this earth. They are going out alone, meeting God. Your job is just to do what you can do in your good conscience and plant the seeds. The rest has got to be taken over by God. And I know you're doing this. Ask the Blessed Mother to help you with this, because this is very important. What you just said. A lot of mothers we all feel like we're responsible for walking them right into heaven, like the way we walked our kids into preschool and the babysitter and stuff. No, we're not. We're there to do what we can do, but then we must let God take over. So I want you to have comfort in that and rest in knowing that you're a great mom. You're a fabulous mom. So I feel that strongly, Jerry. I mean, moms of big families, I think they're going to get special places in heaven.
Yeah. What do you think, Angela?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, dear. Thanks for calling.
Okay. We love you, Angela.
Yeah, and Take Two family, I know many of you have already committed to praying for Angela and her family, but join Jane. Maybe let's all just, for Angela's and other families that have similar circumstances, let's all just offer something today. Let's offer something for each other every day. The Take Two with Jerry and Debbie family. Let's just offer have 12 bites of ice cream but not 13, or don't take that extra cup of coffee or something. Let's see if we can really bring some graces into one another's lives, Debbie. It's a powerful thing to do, is to pray for one another. Jane pointed that out in her email.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in Angela's call, there's a lot of us in the same position. So let's work this through together. We got an email from Donna. Donna says, Jerry and Debbie, things looked up for me for a while, but now I'm hopeless now. Please, you know what, Donna, we need to bring that hope back into you. Never be hopeless, because that's where Satan likes to wreak havoc. I need your urgent prayers. My husband is so detached from anything good or true and blames and rages. Wow. Okay. Well, going back to
against her. Against her.
Against her, right. Yeah. Okay. For Donna and for Angela and for everybody else that's listening, you can't control what somebody else is doing. You can only take care of how you respond, how you react. Okay? If you're in a dangerous situation, you need to remove yourself from that dangerous situation. That is not healthy for your emotional state, your mental state. I'm not a counselor, but this is just common sense. Okay, you need to remove yourself from that situation. Prayer is definitely essential during that, but please don't lose hope. Please don't lose hope. Look at Padre Pio talking about never losing hope, because God is with you on every single step of this journey. Our Blessed Mother is holding your hand as your dear, sweet mother. Your guardian angel is right next to you. You're not alone through this life. Don't let Satan trap you into thinking you're all alone. No one's going to help you. You've lost hope. That is a lie. That's a lie by Satan. And if we believe that, then we're going to get sucked into that pit, and that's not a good place to be.
Okay, we have that line open that Angela was on. The number is 833-288-3986, 833-288-EWTN, if it's easier for you to remember it with the letters of the network, EWTN. We're talking today about, do you feel unfulfilled in life? Or maybe you do feel fulfilled, but if not, like Angela there, she saw some dynamics around her, Debbie, in the family, of course, and these are not uncommon, but those are real obvious ones. They're right there in front of her and many others as well. And so she feels like she's lacking some fulfillment because of that. So what about you, dear listeners? Anything going on that makes you feel a little bit not quite fulfilled, content, at peace deep down inside? 833-288-3986.
Jerry, we're getting some confirmations on Dave on YouTube. Unfulfilled, yes, Mass is great, praying is great, but there's a feeling of more. Perhaps it is it graces God has yet to give to us. Okay, Lucia says, Jesus knows what I'm longing for in my life. Listen to this. Anna Maria says, sometimes those lonely times are meant to build a deeper relationship with God. You are never alone. Here's a validation to that. I love confirmations. Maureen says, when I pray the chaplet of St. Michael, great, powerful chaplet. Everybody should be praying the chaplet of St. Michael. I feel such reassurance that we have St. Michael, our guardian angels, and all the choirs of angels. That is so awesome. Wow. Absolutely, Maureen. See, we're getting people putting out their ideas about their life and what it means, and then others are confirming that, we got to get into prayer a little deeper, Jerry.
Yeah, and I want to touch upon what Dave said for just a minute here. He talked about, unfulfilled, yes. He says, I go to Mass, a lot of things are good in a lot of ways, but he says, maybe I'm still waiting on graces that God is going to give me. And I have had to learn maybe the hard way in my own life, Debbie, that there have been times when I have felt really happy and content and joyful and fulfilled. I've had that feeling of fulfillment in life. And sometimes that can be taken by God. He lets us go through some difficult times, or we make choices or go down certain paths that can kind of remove that from our lives, and we have to sort of make a correction. So I think it's good for all of us to realize it is good to wait on God. God wants us. He wants us to have the abundant life. He talks about that in Scripture. But it's not always going to be, you throw your feet on the floor in the morning and you do 3 cartwheels and you're in the bathroom and, and then you put your clothes on and you don't have to drive to work. You can run because you're feeling so good about everything. So, life has its mixes, its ups and downs, but we want to talk about that fulfillment at a very, very deep level. I think that's what we're striving for, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So please call in and share with us at 833-288-3986. There is an open phone line. Mary Beth says, your show fulfills me. Mary Beth, you're so sweet. You're just a doll. I want to hug you. I feel that it fills my soul with hope and peace and community. Absolutely. And that's what we strive to do here, is to build a Take Two family, Mary Beth. So you tapped into that. Deborah says, I will turn 64 on May 28th. Happy early birthday, Deborah. I work full-time in healthcare and also volunteer on the side. I live alone, honestly, feel like wanting new challenges, but don't know what God's will is for me at my age. Deborah, we're going to talk more about that on the other side of this break. Very exciting that you are sharing this, because we have things to share as well to start today about having a
The Venerable Fulton John Sheen.
It is a self-evident principle that the Creator has endowed man with certain unalienable rights.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
And this is an EWTN bookmark brief. I just had the pleasure of speaking with Christopher J. Scalia, who was one of the editors of the book Antonin Scalia on Faith, Lessons from an American Believer, published by Crown, available through the EWTN Religious Catalog. This book on faith, how did it come about, and was it something your father intended to do?
This book is something my father was working on really shortly before he passed away. So this collection includes a number of speeches he delivered to religious audiences, and also speeches and court opinions about the place of religion in American life, and particularly the role that the Founding Fathers created for religious expression and the important place they made for it at the founding.
The book is on faith.
Thank you.
Antonin Scalia, and that's Christopher J. Scalia, who edited it along with Ed Whalen. It's available through the EWTN Religious Catalog, EWTNRC.com. Look for the entire interview coming soon on the network. And this has been an EWTN Bookmark Brief.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
The blood of Jesus shed on the cross healed all our wounds. A lot of people say, well, I can do what I want. I can commit any sin. Jesus saved me. You can't be presumptuous. All holy God cannot allow you to sin or give you the right to sin by dying for you. That doesn't make any sense.
For more information on Mother Angelica, visit Religious Catalog at EWTNRC.com.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. We embrace the essence of feminine spirituality on Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Good to have you with us here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Thank you to the affiliates as well, the AM and FM stations across the country that carry EWTN programming, and ours in particular. We thank you so very much. Rich, Ryan, who's usually here, Michael screening calls today, Jeff Burson, and you, the listeners. You're the ones who make this show what it is at 833-288-3986, talking about the issue of fulfillment today. Do you feel unfulfilled in life? Maybe you feel like you haven't quite even yet uncovered or peeled away whatever that purpose or that vocation, that mission is that God had for you when He created you. Maybe you have. But we're talking about that that today and how we can achieve that in our lives at 833-288-3986.
And real quickly, I want to go back to Deborah's comment about being in full-time healthcare and also volunteering, but she feels like she wants new challenges. And Deborah, that's very interesting. Think about it for a moment. You have spent your life helping others, nurturing others, caring for others, okay? That is what you have been trained to do, and your life experience shows that. And now you want some new challenges, okay? Take it to prayer, Deborah. Take it to adoration. Sit in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Say, Lord, I've been prepared. I've been trained in my healthcare field and also in volunteering. Where do you want me next? You'd be surprised, Deborah, because I'll tell you what, the good Lord stretches you. You want challenges? You'll get challenges, but with great rewards here on earth and hopefully for eternity. So, Deborah, I would take it to prayer where you're in a great place right now, a beautiful place for the next leg of the journey. So we'll be curious to see what God has planned for you. Always email us if you want to. We'd love to stay journeying with you at take2@EWTN.com.
Okay, we're going to go to the beautiful state of Oregon. Michelle is watching. Hello, Michelle, on YouTube. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Michelle, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty well. Thank you.
Hi, Michelle.
Good. Hello. So I wanted to comment because this is something I've struggled with since becoming a mom. And I always knew I wanted to be a mom and a stay-at-home mom, but then it's funny how 4 years in, and I have 2 kids now, how I'm constantly feeling like, not that I'm not doing enough because I feel busy, but a little bit unfulfilled because everyone around me has careers, and they can kind of decide where they're going to live, what does their life look like, and I feel a lot like I don't get to make those choices or have dreams of where I'll live or what my life will look like. It's a lot about where my husband works and what he needs for his job and what my kids need, and that can be just very hard to feel like I'm just kind of on the passenger seat doing a lot of work but not really getting to drive.
Right. I totally get it, Michelle. I was a stay-at-home mom for many, many years. I totally get it. And the world, it seems like the world's moving very quickly around you. People are upgrading their houses and getting new cars and changing jobs and moving and doing stuff. And you're at home taking care of the kids. But your vocation to your family is most important, and you know that. And what I would suggest is that you allow yourself time with the family together, doing some kind of ministry work if you haven't done that already. Even if it's just visiting, even if it's just serving the poor and the needy in your community together as a family, doing something together at your church together as a family. Not necessarily going into ministry full time where you separate yourself from the family, but do it as a family. You'll watch things happen around you. It's really interesting, Michelle. For many years, I was, and I hate to use the word jealous because not jealousy. It's kind of, it's a sense that you're missing out on what other people are experiencing. And years later, all of my friends and neighbors came to me and said, did you know that I envied you? I envied you because you stayed home and you were there with the kids and you had all this precious time developing and helping them develop their spirituality. So it's very interesting how people look at things. I don't know if you took that perspective, Michelle, or maybe thought of that. I know you're super busy as a stay-at-home mom, but there's always time to put in a little family ministry together. What do you think?
I do like that. I think that would bring fulfillment, and I actually right now help with the nursery at our church, which has been really fun, but it's not a family thing. So I think that's really good advice. So thank you, because it would just give me something extra to do as a family, because that is important. And the hard thing with the kids, you say that friends said, oh, I was, envious of you doing that. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any friends with children, actually.
Oh, wow.
Everyone is a career person. Mm-hmm. So when I had kids, friendship went out the window because people didn't understand. And then, now that I do, it's like very much separate worlds. A lot of people just, I don't know. A lot of people, I couldn't do what you do. It seems so hard. Actually, I don't even really have Catholic friends. I have a couple now, but so I feel like I'm isolated in that sense, and I think I just need maybe more people like-minded around me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Expand your friendship circle. The friends that I had from my mom's play group, I still have them today. We're very close. In fact, I'm a godparent of one of my friend's children, and it's amazing. And you're right. You do have to expand these circles. You don't have to always just stay in one friendship circle. And there's different friends that can, serve those emotional needs and fulfilling and have those great friendships that you like-mindedness. It tends to be very empowering, and it helps you move on with your vocation. Yeah, that's a great. You see, you had the right answer all along, Michelle.
It's just hard to make those friends, I think, when you're with the little kids, but play groups are a good idea. So I wish our church had something like that. They used to, but now they don't. So maybe that's something I could help with.
Yeah, start it. What do you think, Jerry?
Just a couple quick thoughts, Michelle. I think if your husband's probably told you this before, but if you were to ask his perception of the whole thing, he would probably look at you as the engine that drives the family. He would have great respect and admiration for what you're doing. And as far as the fulfillment, the kids, it's got to be fulfilling for you now. But as a parent, I've never had kids. Debbie, you could speak to this. Fulfillment, I think, for a parent is always there. But then when you see your kids, the fruit of what you're doing right now, when they're young adults and getting married themselves and having careers and being successful and, God willing, being strong, practicers of the faith, the fulfillment you're going to have then, which is starting now, is just going to be probably overwhelming for you. And just one last thing. Think about the Holy Family. Okay, meditate on the Holy Family, how they had to be uprooted several times. The angels appeared to Joseph, and they had to get up and flee, and then get up and go back. So life was not a kind of textbook for them either. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you feel like maybe you have a little bit of a different lifestyle from some of your friends, just keep the Holy Family in mind and realize the importance of the mission that they were furthering for God, salvation history, and maybe that'll give you a little bit more encouragement, I hope so.
Yeah,
okay,
I totally
Michelle?
agree. And also, too, Michelle, I would utilize your friends that don't have kids. A lot of them love to babysit because they don't have kids. They think it's fun. And, I would get a group of babysitters around you. I think it would be great, and let them experience little kids. It's always fun. What do you think, Michelle? Are we making any sense, or are we just going off the rails here?
No. That makes sense, and I really like the idea of meditating on the Holy Family and making that a focus, because that would be amazing to help with this. You're right, so thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate that. Yeah, I do that too little myself, Debbie. I need to do that more. But, Our Lady was sinless, and yet she still had to live a very, very hard life. And St. Joseph, life was hard back then. You remember what Steve Ray showed us in the Holy Land about where the Holy Family would have lived and how they would have lived. And they would have had to walk a couple miles each direction, barefooted to go to work and work with their hands and stuff. So we sometimes get this very sterile image in our minds of what life was like for the Holy Family, but it really wasn't. So
it was tough. Michelle, before you hang up, Jen from New Jersey called in and says recommends mothers of preschoolers, MOPS. Great way to make friends. See how the Take-Two family just jumps in, Michelle. I'm sure if the Take-Two family was living in Oregon, they'd be knocking on your door, going, "Let's go out for a play date," right? It's all good. I love the Take-Two family. It is.
You guys can make it.
Yeah. Well, keep us posted, Michelle. We'd love to journey with you. Let us know if you start up that ministry at your church. That would be fantastic, I think, for other moms as well.
Okay, we're talking about today, do you feel unfulfilled, or how fulfilled do you feel in life? We're going to go to Bobby next, who is listening to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on Real Presence Radio in South Dakota. Hi, Bobby. Good to have you with us.
Hello. Good to have you on my radio. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was a 3 callers ago. I just happened to walk in the room, had the radio on, and I heard a very nice lady having difficulties with, I didn't catch it all, but some difficulties with her husband and children that have fallen away from the church.
And that would be Angela.
Thank you very much, yes. And it seems to almost be axiomatic. I have 3 children of my own, and yeah. And the one has a halfway prayer life. The other two, as far as I know, have nothing. And you had mentioned, or the both of you had mentioned, for her to, the thing that struck me was to stay in touch and talk to your guardian angel. That hit me like a ton of bricks because I'm cradle Catholic. I am getting older now. I am getting old, in fact. And so in the early days, I learned my catechism about everything else because I have to, because I was told to, and I would, go through the motions, and great, can I go out and play now? And my spiritual life, my life path, went from that to paying more attention, to wanting to pay attention, to now I can't get enough. I can't get enough. The more I pray, the more I want to pray. The more I go to Mass, the more I want to go to Mass. It's like taking on a life of its own, and I am delighted. But the one thing, about 3 years ago, I was going through a very, very, very bad time in my life. The marriage of 40 years just evaporated. And my future looked black, and I didn't know how to do that. My priest said something about, did you talk to your guardian angel? I said, and he said, what's your guardian angel's name? And I looked at him like he'd lost his mind. And so I thought about it. He said, ask. So a little while later, a few weeks later, a month or two later, and I was in a quiet part of my evening, and so I talked to my guardian angel, and I just said, what's your name? If you don't tell me your name, I'm going to give you one. And I made the observation, I have been, by the Holy Spirit, that when the divine, when our Lord, our Blessed Mother, any of the angels and saints talk to us, it's not the King's English I hear, but it's the feeling I hear. It's an understood, nonverbal. You understand unequivocally what they're just telling you. So I asked my angel her name, and she told me. I could feel it. And since then, it's a daily relationship. I am aware of her presence everywhere I go, all the time. I clue her into my daily life, and it is so. I had friends tell me when I was getting divorced and got the papers searched, and maybe take to heart, you're never alone. And I thought, I don't get that. I get it. I really get it. So to the Angela, yes, talk to your guardian angel. The guardian angel is always there.
Wow. Wow, Bobby, your personal testimony is very powerful, and I just wanted to say, I don't want to give away my whole talk because the folks in Houston will be waiting for this guardian angel talk. But you're so right about talking to your guardian angel and developing that relationship, because your guardian angel is studying you. Watching you very intently, learning your mannerisms, learning your actions, understanding your patterns. Your guardian angel is there for you as a special and tremendous gift from God, so that you're never alone. And because God does not want us to feel like we are, completely alone, where everything's attacking us, everything is coming after us. God wanted us to feel that comfort along this journey of life. And you thank goodness that priest asked you if you talked to your guardian angel, because it's so true. Let's look at Padre Pio for one moment, real quickly. Padre Pio spoke to his guardian angel at a small age, like his guardian angel was his playmate. Okay, constantly talking to his guardian angel, constantly sending out his guardian angel to talk to other people's guardian angels. It's amazing, and we don't tap into it. So, Bobby, I'm so glad you found that for you, and I'm happy that you're a sponge and you are soaking in everything you can possibly do spiritually, because it's only gonna better your soul and be great for you for all of eternity. So God bless you, Bobby. Thank you for offering us that confirmation on that. Jerry?
Yeah, great to have you with us on the program, Bobby. Just want to mention, we all know that there is just utter chaos and things just happening every day as fast as possible. It's hard to keep up with the news, and especially to understand world events and U.S. national events really through a Catholic lens. And EWTN has a whole news service covered in every medium possible, and one of those is Catholic News Agency. So we encourage you, go to CatholicNewsAgency.com on the internet, and you will get Catholic news. You'll be informed, and you will see it from a truthful perspective, and you will know how to have these conversations, important conversations around the water cooler at work. So go to CatholicNewsAgency.com.
And Jerry, real quickly, can we just talk about, did you talk about the installation Mass in D.C.?
I didn't mention that yet.
Will you mention that? Because I know, can you do another shout out for that? Because
I don't have that in front of me right. I know it's coming up at 1:30 Eastern Time today on EWTN Radio and Television. The installation of Wilton D. Gregory as the new Archbishop of Washington, D.C. is going to be seen and heard on EWTN Television and Radio. And again, that's 1:30 Eastern Time, so
and
right
that's
about
today.
Halfway through Dr. Ray's show.
He
gets bumped, we don't.
He'll understand, right, Jerry?
Yeah, it's an archbishop, you know.
Yeah. Jerry, can you mention Valerie's comment before the end of the show? Because it's very important. Can we?
I'm happy to, unless if you want me to, I can or you can. But we get comments on Facebook and YouTube where the video of our show is streamed live. And Valerie, what a beautiful, beautiful comment. Friends, listen to this. Valerie says, I used to feel very unfulfilled in life. It started after my abortion. Then I started talking about it and realized it was abortion regret. Finally, I was encouraged to go to a Rachel's Vineyard retreat, and it completely changed my life and gave it purpose. Now I am a strong pro-life advocate. Not only that, but the child I lost in my abortion and another child I lost to miscarriage, I feel daily holding my hands and leading me toward God. I imagine it's like when your children really want to show you something and they grab you by the hand and yell, Mommy, Mommy, come here and look at this. That's how I feel my children are in heaven, holding my hand and leading me closer to God. That is what a great reversal of life for her, just the regret that she had and all of the feeling, bad about what she had done, Debbie, and God has taken that and healed it and repaired it and turned it around and given her a beautiful perspective.
Yes. Valerie, thank you so much for sharing that. Blessings to you. Jerry Gigi just said, thank you so much, Jerry, for mentioning the installation Mass. See, folks, we're starting to forget about it, and this is good. We'll all be watching it and listening to it together. Thank you again, Bobby in South Dakota. We appreciate your comments. Beverly in Massachusetts on the Station of the Cross. You've been waiting so patiently. Welcome to Take Two.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Beverly.
Fine,
good.
Beverly.
How are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Your topic today of fulfillment really touched a chord with me. When I was young, when I was in high school, I had wanted to join a convent. And, as time went by, I got married, I had children, and it was wonderful, but I always felt as if maybe I had done what I wanted to do in life and not what God had wanted me to do. And maybe I was supposed to have a vocation. And then later in life, very, very late in life, I was like in my 50s, I found the Third Order, and I became a Third Order Carmelite and became very fulfilled. And so I was just thinking it was something that maybe your listeners don't know about. I didn't know until then that there are third orders of most religious orders. Dominicans, Carmelites, Benedictines, Franciscans. And it's something that if they feel that they missed out, they should look into Third Order.
Beverly, would you take about 30 to 45 seconds, just explain what a Third Order is and what you do as a layperson in participating in the life of these particular religious congregations?
Surely. A Third Order are the lay version of the order. You are, I'll speak to the Carmelites. I am a completely professed lay Carmelite. I go about my life every day, married, I shop, my children are older, I have grandchildren. I do all the things that I do in my normal life, but as a lay Carmelite, a professed Carmelite, I do the Liturgy of the Hours. We go to Mass as often as possible, daily if possible. As a Carmelite, you dedicate your life to prayer. There are other orders who, well, actually, there is, in the first order are the priests. Second order Carmelites are the nuns who are in convents who are, of course, I'm losing my words now, sealed away.
Cloistered,
and the third order are the nuns who work, the Carmelites, for the aged and infirm, and also the lay Carmelites. We're third order. We're like on the plane with them.
Sure.
And so it's the Carmelites dedicate their lives to prayer. When there's a problem, we don't necessarily, grab a sign and go out and picket or march, or we get on our knees. That's the first thing we do when there's a problem as Carmelites. And we do it where we are. We could be in a supermarket. We could be in a parking lot. We could be at work, wherever. Prayer is the center of our life. And after our family obligations, Carmel is our main responsibility.
Well, and if I can just jump in, Beverly, that secondary responsibility, as important as that is, it is going to help you with your primary obligations, with your marriage, your family, all of your primary duties in life. And one thing, Debbie, that you and I both appreciate about third order, opportunities for people is that there's the structure, there's the discipline. You really have a prayer life that it's founded on the prayer of the church, just like with the religious men and women. So it's
very dedicated.
Yeah, it's great for a lot of lay people to get involved in third orders like that.
I agree. Beverly, thank you so much for sharing that with us and the audience today. We so appreciate it. God bless you for the beautiful vocational work you're doing. Real quickly, Jerry, I just wanted to share one of our Take Two family members. Angela, by the way, you were our first caller. You have so many prayers coming in for your family. So many people can relate. This wonderful person from our Take Two family didn't sign their name, sent us, said on YouTube, there are Father Donald Calloway and Father Michael Gately videos all about this, about families and kids leaving the faith and stuff like that. So we'll preview some of these videos and see if we can post them on take2show.com. But Angela, you got a lot of prayers from the Take Two family around you. Everybody feels like we're all in the same boat. We've all had kids walking away from the faith, so we can relate.
Monica, if you can be brief, we just have about 1 minute, about 60 seconds, Monica, and we're going to hear that closing music in Wabash, Indiana, listening on Redeemer Radio. Hi, Monica.
Hi. Okay, I'll make it quick. My take on this is that we all have a spiritual life, but I think we also have a creative side of our life that we don't, that we all need to express, whether it be through writing or using our hands for different things, not just crafting, but doing it because it's fulfilling and it brings peace to us. And when I can't, I know so many people I think need to be doing that, have realized that they do have a creative part. Everybody, I think, has a creative side of their life, and they need to do it, whether it be beautiful gardens or whatever. But I know that I've not been able to do that creative side of my life for many years now because I work a job and I take care of a family, and now I've got a grandchild, and I'm always taking care of other people. And I used to sew and quilt and make baby quilts for people and give them away, and that makes me sad that I'm not using that gift that I have. And someday I'll be able to be fulfilled again and to do that. And I also want to say to Michelle, the stay-home mom, when I was a young mom, I worked full-time. When I was at work, I thought I needed to be at home. When I was at home, I thought I needed to be at work. It was such a polarizing feeling all my life. And I feel like if I could have been able to work a part-time job, it would have been just perfect, for me. But it wasn't. I wasn't able to do that. So just want to throw that out there.
Well, what you said was great, Monica. Thank you so much for sharing today. We're so happy we got you on the show. But when I was saying goodbye to Beverly, and I said, thank you for your vocational work, I wasn't referring to trade work, like a certain specialized trade. I'm talking about we have many ways and many vocations in life. We have our primary vocations and other vocations using God's gifts and talents. And you tapped into that, Monica. And I hope God provides that opportunity for you again in the future to use your God-given gifts and talents for others. I think it's important, Jerry.
Great job, as always, Take Two family and the show team. Today, that was Jeff and Rich and Michael McCall. I'm Jerry Usher for Debbie Georgianni and Charles. Thank you, Charles. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, have you or someone your family been impacted by the opioid epidemic? Not necessarily tons of statistics, but just real-life experience. That's tomorrow.
Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.